everyone, to the 39th episode of our D&D 5e campaign titled Roaches. Today's recap will be done by Justin for once, so take it away.
Alright, our last session, after the aftermath of the battle with those five cultists, I went down a hole or I guess Mel, and told everyone about what was going on, from what he could see between the battle of the dwarves, the cuckoids, and all the spawn and demons of Akishakal. Uh, then Arhant would notice the form of the spirit of hunger getting sucked up into his mask, and it transforms to a more bust-looking, almost like horror mask kind of thing, uh, which then gives him the brilliant idea to put it on, and um, where he transforms into this. Well, we can't see it, but this huge Tor-like demon, um, that he quickly uses to attack and disperse the huge group of demon spawn and such, fearing his newfound might. After doing so, we were able to reunite with the dwarves, talk to them a little bit, and got their um, more about them as the time was winding down for the teleportation spell to take place. We learned that they are from a tribe called the Reavers, um, and that the leader of them was Godrin, and that their tribe was last seen near New Arkham, which we had the epiphany that was actually the small town by the lake where we got the antitoxin ages ago. We got a token from the dwarves and promised to help them to get back to the material plane. And when we were whisked back, Mel had a idea to use the uh, heart that he had to teleport some of the dwarves with them in the hopes that those dwarves could find a way to better get back to their people. Um, Afterwards, we talked with the angel, uh, gave the waste blood, and they were able to quickly render a cure to the affected members of the guilds. Uh, while they are in recovery and not super engaged in conversation, the angel thanked us for that. But we did learn that the leader of the chain whirlers had actually disappeared in that time frame. Um, and then we also learned from the mask that Arahan has after we were taking our rest after our travels that we know of when a rite of slaughter will be taking place in the city of Wundingen, uh, in 3 weeks? Sounds right. 3 weeks, yes, okay. And so now we're making prep for how we're going to take on that.
Yeah, that's, yeah, pretty much it. Um, yeah. So, then I guess, we'll go through your guys' plans. Probably starting. Yeah, we'll do like the first thing that Mel wants to do, then the first thing that Salwan wants to do, and then we just flip back and forth.
Nah.
So,
Uh,
Mel.
I guess the first thing I'd want to do is probably try to get in contact with the Duke and see if he slash his daughter wants to lend any sort of aid or knows of any um, assistance we could have. I guess on that note, I can also bring the dwarves with me there, uh, just because I could use those portals to also get them back towards New Arkham.
Oh yeah, those both work. Yeah. So you take the road to the closest manor of the Duke, taking about, it's basically 2 days in total, and
Okay.
you arrive at the manor as usual. The gates are opened for you by the butler, and you are welcomed in.
No, head on inside. Thank you.
You, um, the Duke is awaiting you in the meeting room. Oh no, he's not actually awaiting you. This time he has no idea of when you would actually arrive, so please wait for the Duke in the meeting room.
Yeah, I gotcha.
Yeah. And after you and I assume the dwarfs are seated there, um, it takes about 5 more minutes for the Duke to come in. He sits down and says, "So, what news do you bring?"
We were able to disrupt a ritual of sorts while in the demon plane. Unfortunately, we seem to think that Akishigal and his forces are organizing as they put it, a rite of slaughter coming in the next 3 weeks. Uh, on Wunding, forgot the name of it, Wundingen?
Uh, Wundingen, but yeah.
Wundingen, yeah. And just wanted to know if you had any sort of insight or assistance that you wanted to aid to that, because I'm sure it's going to be a big incursion of some sort.
Um, so I know this might seem a bit weird to you, but I'm not used to my conversations starting with when I was in the demon plane. Um,
So there's definitely been some happenings since last we talked. But all in the avenue of our investigation into Akishigal and his cult.
then, hmm, that would mean um, how do I say? Um, I do actually have a manor in Grundingen. A ritual of slaughter, you say?
Mm-hmm.
That actually sounds dire. Um,
Yeah, they seem to have a pretty heavy emphasis on it from what Arhand was telling me. As you know, with him with his visions, that's something that he saw pretty clearly going to come to pass.
Hmm. That is worrying indeed. Um, a ritual of slaughter would require for Akishigal himself to be summoned into the material plane. Uh, I will have to, or will not just attempt, I will try and use my network to get as much support as possible. I'm kind of in a tricky spot myself, though. Um, Meaning I can't really uh, help myself uh, in person, but I will see and try to get as much organized as possible.
If you don't mind my asking, what's going on your end of things that's causing some trouble?
It's the general idea that I don't want any demon lords to know of my existence, or at least my existence in this plane.
Mm.
According
Well,
to all record books of the lower planes, I am dead.
if nothing else, the manor being stationed near there could be advantageous as far as moving troops about or supplies or such. Puts
That
us right
is
on the front.
that is very true. Obviously, it will be at your full disposal for this operation, as it's as much in my interest, if not more, than in yours. So, yeah, Mikasa Isukasa. I think that's how that saying
Yeah,
goes.
and I appreciate it, your lordship. Uh, on another matter, and I kind of present my dwarf friends. You being a man of the land and pretty well endowed in the information market, um, if you had any idea where their clan would be, and I'd let them kind of introduce themselves and talk about it, would help them be able to help them and possibly us reunite and get their group back out of that demon realm, and possibly could aid us.
um, yes, I think I know the place. Or I think I know a place where they are. Um, I think I should be able to get something like that organized. Uh, Question being, would you want to travel with them, or
I mean, it depends on the time frame for it. I need to be definitely be able to get back here and, or within this area in time before the invasion. If there's any other preparations I can think of, but I don't mind going with them if it for a little while. using your network could help uh, expedite things.
Yes, I will. I will definitely see to it. Um, as they have stated, they are nomadic people, so I actually think I know where multiple parts of that tribe currently have make, made camp, or at least a rough area. So that should be. So the portal should definitely be of major help.
I thank you once again for all that you're able to lend us.
Um. Well, I'll have to thank you too for doing such great work for me. If there's anything else I can help you with, I would be happy to.
Kind of like not shooing them away, but kind of like motioning for the dwarves to kind of go about their leave or to get ready to go from here. Um, Mel will kind of go to the Duke, kind of like ask for a kind of one-on-one, little less formal,
Mm.
and personal matter. You know a good bit about like artifacts and such. I wish Arahand were here to show the one that he has in his possession. I'm not quite not super keen on it, but it seems to have its uses. But also, I'd like to get your take on something I've came across and acquired over the course of our travels in that realm, as well as some eventual ultimatum I've got to do, and what your take on that as well. And then he would present. I don't know if there's obvious markings of it, but like present his heart.
you just you just present your bare chest. Um,
No,
nothing visible. You just go topless. No. Uh, there are some obvious marks. That is intriguing. Um, there are some. So that artifact you have, is a type of, how do you say it? It's a type of crystal heart. Uh, there are a few different a few different crystal hearts. Usually, I mean, the most simple ones are used by wizards to be able to focus the power from multiple wizards into one. There are others known to save people from death. Um, well, yours seems to be quite unique. Uh,
yeah, it
it's
came with the caveat of some unique voices and implications. They seem to have a accord with what our goal was, but I don't really know their true purpose or intent.
Yes, that heart definitely seems to be of origin in the lower planes, or specifically from the wastes. It's not actually demonic in origin. It's related to something older, something that has been there before, like a spirit of the land. Um, I would assume that you at least know some of its powers.
Yeah, well, it's the reason that my friends and I kind of like motion towards the probably now mostly gone dwarves are standing at the door. I was able to get those four out of their predicament along with us.
So,
Uh,
yeah.
and then, of my knowledge, when I attune to the thing, I feel like I could manifest it into some sort of like coalescence of some sort. Not something that I tried though. I was unsure of how the results could go awry.
Mm, yes, there are some, or there's one in particular. Effect that's not so easy to notice, but I think you should be able to stave it off for a while, seeing as it only really becomes active should you, well, fall unconscious with this heart implanted into you. Some kind of spirit entity possessing the heart uh, would gain control over your body while you're unconscious and would permanently inherit it should you die.
Mm. Definitely wouldn't like to lose agency of my own person, but I guess in the if they somehow align with our purpose, it could give us myself as an ally of sorts. But hopefully, something we don't a bridge we don't have to cross.
Well, as much as it's comforting to, or it might be comforting to just ignore it, um, there is wisdom in making plans and fallbacks should something happen. So don't just fall into the trap of just ignoring it until it happens.
Of course, given
Well,
a good.
I I just wanted to say I think that's it. If you have something
Oh no.
that's not just it, then we can continue if you want.
Let's try to look. I don't remember if we had anything else. Like I said, Arhan's not here. I would show him the mask. I'm sure he'd have a thing to say about that, but I don't want to take that agency from Arhan.
Mm.
Uh, I guess. Did you had you heard of what had transpired with the guild helms of what's the name of that city?
I should probably have my notes open. 22 minutes into the session. Um, no, it was not Hinterstedt. That was the other village. It's Mainstead.
Okay, in Minstead. Uh, there was an attack upon multiple members, and they were poisoned with a demonic sort of poison that seemed to rot them away and threatened to consume their very souls. Uh, which was the reason we went to the demon plane, because we needed a material there that could only be found there.
And did you manage to acquire that material?
Uh, within this, was it within the heart itself too, or was
Yes.
it okay? It stored itself in the heart that I've now have. I'm not sure if there's any residual left, but we gave what we had in the vials, as obviously we didn't want to touch it ourselves, to an angel kin of some sort that was able to turn that into a remedy, and it seems that the others are recovering.
That is comforting, at least. And that should likely guarantee those guild heads support. Should, shouldn't it?
Now that's hopefully what one of the others is working on. Trying to, obviously with respect that they're recovering, but kind of have to hit the hit the road running again and get ready for what seems to be war of sorts. If not, uh, probably one of the biggest this world's seen in a long time.
At least one of the biggest this region has seen. We, as of now, we're just speaking of the scale of a city. Um, though this definitely has potential to escalate. But
Oh,
I fear that if we don't stop it, it will be less of a war and more of, like the right suggests, a slaughter.
yeah, I don't really like my odds against a demon lord of any measure, much less one presiding over vermin and, I mean, just the manifestation and embodiment of everything I've come across. And I've seen definitely some things I didn't expect to see in my time. Then I guess one other matter. I seem to be now in a sort of internship of creating a weapon of sorts for what's his title? The Prince of Worms, or was it?
Yeah, the Prince of Worms. Uh,
uh, to avoid having to fight or otherwise deal with them, and more so for the sake of my dwarven compatriots and their people, I seem to have to manufacture a great weapon of sorts for that individual, which I'm not too keen on, but
well, um, have you inquired about the nature of that general?
uh, not not that I know of. No.
Um, do you at least know if it's human, if it's like humanoid shaped or a worm?
I mean, given it, they seem to take a liking to my sort of craft, I'd assume it at least had the opposable thumbs and hands of some sort to use a ranged weapon.
Well, you seem more than capable of constructing those kinds of weapons. Uh, which part of that construction would you need my help with?
I mean, I guess gathering materials for the purpose, uh, as well as kind of understanding the disposition and intrigue of an entity like that more, and what they would be looking for.
Well, I can certainly provide materials. Um, I do, in fact, have a lot of things that might be useful in such a case. Um, how about you just take a look down at the storage yourself? You would obviously be also welcome to use the old workshop down there. But it might be dusty. I haven't used it for a while now. Though maybe the imps have kept it clean.
No, I appreciate taking a gander and see what I can get into working order. I thank you.
Once again, I have to issue my thanks to you, as that's not really a way to a need to thank me, as you're kinda just doing what I want you to do. Um. Anyway, uh, good luck on your efforts.
And you as well.
Well, and with that, you probably start going to work on what I assume would be a crossbow.
Unless the dwarves wanted me to immediately accompany them,
Hmm.
otherwise it'd be just kind of looking, getting an idea of what I'm gonna go with, and then within the travels, because we'll be using his network to help the dwarves get to their others,
Yeah.
and then in the time when they're probably getting back, talking with their people and stuff, is when Mel will just spend time tinkering on it.
Um. Well, there are actually how is that weapon called? There are actually lots of plans or materials and blueprints and such for various weapons down there, um, including um, dwarvish repeating crossbows. Let me actually find the book where they're actually from. Why are this just melee weapons? This is still the wrong weapon list. This should be the correct weapon list. Uh, is it? Oh yeah, the repeating crossbow. Oh no, it's called clockwork crossbow. But yeah, that's actually a simple weapon because that's like the one advantage that it has. Um, as well as actually there are some old plans for firearms down there actually.
Okay.
Also, obviously, materials that could be used for crossbows, firearms, whatever. From it's mostly just rare earths and such. Uh,
Mm.
Not really that many kinds of wood. Um, Although one could even use the worm hide as a wood-like material.
That's probably what
But
I would do to
but
further. Oh, good.
but obviously with metal you could also just make an arbalest.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I figure tying in the worm hide for their thing would be thematically appropriate. But otherwise, be working on that.
And
Looking at those schematics. Uh,
well, then we'll switch over to Salwan. Salwan, what kind of plans did you make, or what are you doing in the 3 weeks leading up to the invasion?
I wanna establish some connection with my patron and send him some of the demon blood, a little bit, with a small story, maybe, about my travels and ask for his help because what's in front of us is very much scary.
Hmm. Yeah. You do get an answer. A less cryptic one than usual, actually. Um, as much as I value you as an asset, and you have proven yourself useful to me, and I do like those gifts that you brought me. I have to tell you that my power and my help never comes for free. I will have uh, I do have some ways for you to maybe earn my help, but
Mhm.
okay, I kind of have a quick out of game question. Do you have any other plans other than asking your patron?
Yeah, I wanna visit my Casio shop.
Okay, um, but no other like really big battle preparation things.
I don't really have
Yeah.
any comrades or friends or connections, to be honest. Maybe some with ogres. I can go to ogres and ask them if any of them want to join our party for the final battle.
Um. Well, that already is kind of covered by our hand in Lodwig's absence. That's like part of the message he sent for things he would want to do today.
Mm-hmm.
But then I will say other than checking your job, you can just basically spend the weeks coming up mostly with doing various fetch quests for your patron, and we will then roll to see how well you did.
Okay.
Because I don't want to come up with like 5 or 6 different magic items that you have to fetch. So we'll just say there are quests that you do. They are non-specific.
You go get some MacGuffins.
Exactly. Get all the
Mhm.
MacGuffins. I wonder if one of my books actually put in an actual MacGuffin as a magic item. No, sadly.
Is it just like a
Um, yeah,
suitcase with a bulb inside that shines?
possible.
So I'm curious where the word originated from.
Um, I
Uh,
think it may have just been
it's oddly German in
no,
maybe.
no, I don't think it's German. I mean, uh, that's actually a good question. I would assume that it actually started with some kind of probably in the movie industry itself. Um, w- um, okay, it was coined by a British screenwriter.
More you know.
Apparently, because it's like common to use, or it's like a thing that at that time you would call something that's trivial or irrelevant, you would call a guff.
Hmm.
And I hope that word hasn't over time, I don't know, transformed into a racial slur or something, and I just said it. That would be an issue.
That'd be rough.
But
Rough MacGuffin.
anyway, um, yeah. Then so what kind of checks do I actually want of you to see how well you did in total? Um, I'd say at least one Arcana, one Stealth, one Investigation, and any one of the social checks.
One investigation and one of the social checks.
Yeah, one Arcana, one Stealth, one Investigation, and one of the social checks. So basically any Charisma check.
Nice start.
That's actually a great start.
No, okay.
One arcana, one investigation.
One Stealth, and then any one social check.
Okay, we're kind of getting all spectrums.
Social check is anything with charisma.
Yeah.
Yep.
Basically any of the things you are good at. um well, you know you can. No, I think this should be enough. Yeah, you basically go through the bucket list of your patron in terms of magic items that are nearby or at least semi-nearby and you would be able to acquire. And manage to collect quite a few items of, let's say, less powerful magic items, swindling and haggling your way into getting them cheap with your patron actually sponsoring the remaining sales price. You also did quite a good job of tracking down any of them that are hidden in some kind of ruins or accessible only by riddles or means of magic. And you also employed your stealth to steal maybe one or two, and while you didn't manage to steal that many, at least you didn't get caught while your investigation in terms of trying to find out places of magic items that are not on the list of your patron directly, but may still interest him, did not go well at all. Overall, you acquired quite the collection of items. And your patron is very thankful. I'd say, what would we want to give you if I were an evil patron? What would I reward my warlock with? I mean, we could just start by upgrading your Ward of the Pact Keeper to a +2. Although that might just be a bit boring. You know, you actually did exceptionally well on two things. We'll actually just go with a lightning rod. Yeah, a lightning rod. And one other big thing. I probably shouldn't do too many rods, actually. No, let's just go with the lightning rod, the cloak of tentacles, and his personal help in the upcoming battle. Although he would obviously not risk his own life.
Nice. And I have quite some money, so I think I will spend like 50 platinum and 456 gold pieces on acquiring a proper defense.
Oh. Like contracting mercenaries, or what do you mean with defense?
I was thinking about armor.
Oh, defend for yourself, not for the city. Okay.
Yeah, I can wear light armor, so I will try and buy myself the fucking best thing I can.
Well, um, that actually,
Oh, actually, the chain whirlers thing.
yeah.
I will go with that to her because we already have some business connection and I will try and use it for my advantage.
Well, the issue is the leader of the chain whirlers has kind of fucked off.
Yeah, she disappeared. Presumably because of the looming thing going on, and
Yeah, I think she defended herself from the attack and disappeared because she ran away.
I mean, as a player, I think she has personal ties to Kishigo's thing going on. I don't know if
Okay.
Mel ever came to that conclusion.
Then probably the leader of mages, if there is someone who
Yeah.
does that of the city, can help me with my shopping list.
Well, in terms of armor, uh, in terms of armor, you probably the best person to ask, especially light armor, would be the Stitcher, so the leader of the ogres. You know, they are not called the Skinners for no reason. Um, you would be able to procure for basically half the price you would need normally, plus one studded leather armor of, I don't know, do you want to basically offer resistance of your choice, but I guess it would be pretty obvious that Akishigal mostly uses poison, so I would just no, you just decide whatever elemental resistance you want.
Is leather armor a light armor or a medium armor?
Leather armor slide. Studded leather, as well as studded leather. Yeah, we're talking about
Okay,
studded leather.
and you say it has one elemental resistance.
Exactly. It's like studded leather armor. It's plus one armor, and it has one elemental resistance of whatever kind you choose.
I'm trying to remember. Akishigal is,
He's a giant cockroach, basically.
yes, but also he's into decay shit, right?
Yeah, in a way.
But also, there are some magic things that can just attack me with regular magic shit. What
Yes.
demons? What demons usually like use?
Well, you fought against a few spawn of Akishigal. That's like one of the demons you have encountered a lot, and I don't know why I went away from the search tab, but it doesn't really matter. I kind of know by heart the damage types these things do. Um, those things mostly attack by way of their venomous tails. Um, Other demons that the party fought were those worm things. Did they use any magic damage types? Well, I guess they also use poison. Okay. Um, I think at the start the party fought some very minor demons, but those don't do like really any damage types. I think you also fought a chasm or chasmi. I don't know how you're supposed to pronounce that one. Those like giant. I was about to say mosquito things, but they kind of just look like a fly with a giant sting on their head and less like a mosquito. But anyway, those do necrotic damage. I think that was all the demons you encountered personally.
So it's poison or necrotic, but mostly poison.
Yeah.
Poison it is.
Okay. Do you know how to give yourself items in Roll20, like from the compendium?
I mean, I can.
Or I guess I
Yeah,
can just give
I,
them to
I
you.
do. I do know that.
Um, well, I think I will just do it for you. But anyway.
Okay.
Lightning Ward, Tentacle Cloak, uh, or Cloak of Tentacles, that's how it's called. And Star Leather +1. Um, and that one I will probably rename. Uh, Poison Resistance. That's 2 lightning rods now. Did you already do a lightning rod yourself?
No.
Okay, then I just wrecked it in that twice. Um, what's the? You previously had a Wyvern leather armor. I think that one was just yeah. You basically upgraded your AC by 1 point plus the poison resistance.
That's. I mean, I take what I can. I'm a squishy. I'm a squishy boy. So.
Yeah, I was about I was considering maybe going for +2 armor, but those are usually like in the 5,000 gold price range, so I decided against it.
Do I have like I have 50 platinum?
Yeah, that's 500, not 5,000.
I see.
That's a little bit, a little bit less, you know.
Yeah.
I should also at least give you access to the sheets of those items. Edit, and those can both be viewed by Salwan. Um, so, um, that should be your 3 weeks kind of dealt with. So we'll go back to Mal. Um, Mel, let's say you've made considerable progress or maybe even finished the entire crossbow by now. Um, do you have some of your, let's say, own inputs or directions you would want to take the like type and functionalities of the crossbows or of the crossbow, or do you want Um, how'd you say? Oh no, I kind of lost my track. What was I? I'm just so tired today. What sentence was I in the middle of? Oh yeah, the type of do you want to do like your own inputs in terms of like functionality or damage types, or do you want to mostly orient yourself by informations about um, well, the Prince of Worms?
Uh, I said trying to keep it in his scope for the most part. Obviously, adding a bit of my touch to it of what I uh find most appropriate, but otherwise not. 'Cause they gave me a pretty open uh order, so kind of even begrudgingly, given who it's for, still trying to put it through the paces of what I think would work for it.
Yeah. So a few I guess informations would be that they mostly do, tunnel fighting, as they are quite capable of digging tunnels themselves. And you do not really know the size of crossbow you need to do, but guessing from the amount of material you got, you may consider doing one that's at least let's say, optimized for a large creature, but also usable by a huge creature.
Okay.
Even when, even while talking about obviously the human body makeup.
Hmm.
Um, what else is super important about the Prince of Worms? Um, I think that's kind of really the big important ones. I mean, I could talk about damage types that the Prince of Worms uses, but it's not really pertinent to, what would be useful as a thing that a crossbow can do.
Yeah. Next, I don't need to see in the dark, so I don't need to add any like scope or something to help with that.
Yeah. Oh yeah. That could actually be also a thing. Korgath, the Prince of Worms, or the Writhing Prince. That's it. It's known to grant its followers. Well, if they are demons, they obviously have, dark vision.
Hmm.
Um, wait, am I? Why does he not have dark vision? Oh yeah, no eyes. That's why no dark vision. It's just blind sight. Um, I guess you don't really need dark vision if you already have blind sight, so they just can't see each other out. Yeah, that's it, because it doesn't say blind beyond that radius. Anyway, uh, obviously, if they are demons, they have dark vision, and otherwise, followers of Kogath specifically are often granted the ability to tremor sense.
Yeah. The only thing I can think of where with its size is possibly allowing it to uh almost go subsonic in a way, or like for the purpose of disrupting or otherwise destabilizing the tunnel itself or the rocks itself, possibly cause some AoE.
Um, I mean, one of the general things that might be good whilst tunnel fighting, especially when you're talking about AoE, would either be cones or line attacks, especially in the style of lightning bolt.
Okay, then I can just like really focus on the uh percussion of it, like how like the pit like the the way the bolts are going to be shaped through it as well as how they're actually propelled through it so that they have a lot of oomph to them and have a penchant for going through both their intended target and those behind it.
If we're talking about magical materials available down here, there should also be just materials here that would basically be able to superheat a projectile or charge it electrically or any manner of similar things.
No.
Um, yeah. Uh, by the way, I don't know if. Oh yeah, that isn't a feature in 5e anymore. I forgot. When I said in the style of lightning bolt, I mean that in previous editions, lightning bolt used to bounce off of walls. That line.
Oh.
But apparently in 5e it just doesn't do that anymore.
Yeah, I think they reserve that to chain lightning. Doing anything similar to that, but it's still not the same as like old editions. I know what
Yeah.
you're talking about though.
Yeah, because tunnels are not always straight. Yeah, then give me a. You're using woodworking, I think, right? That's like your big thing.
Yeah, like woodworking or tinkers, I could do either.
Just give me one of both. I'd say the woodworking one with dexterity and the tinker one with intelligence. That is indeed an average of 20. Um, you actually managed to complete your project, creating quite the impressive crossbow, capable of doing whatever things you wanted it to do. Well, within limits, obviously. um, while also not taking too much time, leaving you with still one more week of time to do whatever you please, I guess. Um, as well as being able to uh, copy or pocket or whatever a lot of those blueprints, especially. I'm not sure if. I guess your character might be aware that the blueprints for firearms or just firearms in general are incredibly rare because usually you would have to import them from the Tyrant's city, so from basically the equivalent of the Nine Hells.
Hmm. Sadly, not in his purview, but he would, if nothing else, he would look and try to understand the structure of things, and if there are anything he can reverse engineer back into his own works, then he would. Uh, and then also while working on that propulsion thing, he may also do some works on his own crossbow for the upcoming battle. And then
Mm.
if there were a decent deposit of mithril, if when getting in contact with those other dwarves, if they were receptive of it, given dwarven craftsmanship, if they would be inclined to make him a set of armor, given that he is weary of the possibility of another entity taking control of him and thinks that a set of half plate made out of that would serve him well to bolster up his defenses a bit without compromising too much of mobility.
Well, you might be slightly unlucky having encountered the basically, you could say, the only tribe of dwarfs that are not really wearing much metal armor. Or are these actually wearing, because they're basically barbarians? No, they're actually wearing chain shirts. Never mind. I guess barbarians can wear medium armor, so guess that works.
And if I was doing that, it would have been because obviously working on this project, I'm not working every painstaking day. It'd be
yeah.
in between the travels of the portal jumping and such.
So a mithril half plate. That should very well be possible while I attempt to figure out how D&D writes mithril again. I think I found it.
I think it's just lower weight, and then if it had any issues with stealth checks, then it doesn't now.
It can also be it's also better to conceal under clothes and so on and so forth. Yeah. Uh, well, overall, yeah, you managed to acquire the mithril. That's also the mithril armor, especially because near the city of Manstead, there's also mithril deposits, or at least there has been a decent amount of mithril mined. I think you previously attempted to buy some, or maybe even bought some, but not enough for armor. But by now you should have a decent amount. Or the ability to acquire a decent amount just by being in good graces with the city, having dwarfs that might also pitch in, and maybe even having the Duke do some of the financing, whatever.
Yeah, that's why I was looking for. I mean, I have some money I could put towards it, but it was mostly
Do you
wanting
have a lot of money?
dwarven craftsmanship. I mean, I have
You don't have Salwan amounts of money.
probably not. Like I have, because what platinum's
10. Yeah, platinum's 10 gold, so yeah. You don't have the roughly 1,000 gold that Salwan has had.
yeah. I only have 7 platinum and 39 gold.
So no +1 armor for you. But yeah, mithril half plate should probably be in the realm of possibility. Okay. Oh yeah, you do also manage to find some of the dwarf's remaining tribesmen. What was your plan with those specifically?
Well, first let them have their little reunion, and then telling them about the situation that the rest of their tribesmen are in, and whether or not they had any ideas of leads for it. And if so, then we could do something with that, or like try to get them out of there. But and then obviously bring it to their attention that this big shindig's coming to pass here soon,
Uh,
and whether or not they wanted to aid with that.
well, give me a persuasion to see how many of them you can actually convince to join in the defense of Grundingen.
Okay. Second.
Hmm.
Where'd my maneuvers go? I want to make sure I didn't get an extra one this level. Do get another die though. No, I don't think I got another. All right. So seeing if I could get the one of the maneuvers to add to it. Fuck.
Well, some of them are naturally sympathetic to your cause, especially because their tribesmates are also have tell them about you and the demon lord that you're facing, but you don't manage to really do any additional convincing. And a lot of them seem to be more focused on attempting to get the remaining brethren still trapped in the wastes out of there than actually joining your battle.
That's fair.
Well, so now in addition to being tired, my throat is also starting to hurt. So I think I just want to call it quits here.
Oh, I'm sorry, man.
Yeah. Been a bit shorter than usual, but we've been starting late. The trains and everything. I'm sore, my throat hurts, I'm tired. I kind of just want to sleep. So you can say your goodbyes. And we at least got done with like one major block, so and we'll just assume that you met up at the end in any type of city where the Duke actually has a manor, so you are able to meet up and then come over to Grundingen. Why do I now hear a Roll20 rolling sound? That was weird. Anyway,
Also, we are done with a part that takes a lot of time usually,
yeah.
the fucking shopping.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Also, regarding what our hunt does, he manages to successfully drench the mask in human blood, as one does. And he does actually manage to whip up some manpower from the guilds. Just in terms of just having basically troops available. Sadly, none of the let's say none of the guild leaders are currently really capable of combat. I guess technically the angel would be, but the angel is still kind of stuck here, caring for the other leaders. So, but you get a bunch of troops, as well as in terms of materials and logistics. I might be writing with our hand as well regarding whether there's any kind of spells that he may want to copy or anything like that.
Yeah. Yeah, I know that I want to hash something out with you over the week too, as far as what I was able to do in that workshop with Abigail.
Okay, yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah, we didn't go into specifics over that, but yeah, that
I have a
probably
few
also
things in
takes a
mind.
while.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
that's what I figured. We'll just.
Well, I guess you can then say your goodbyes.
We got a big battle looming, guys. Take it easy, and hope to see you next time.
Bye bye.
Until the next one, have a good one, everyone.